Hey, 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 welcome back to the Smart Money Mama Show. I'm Chelsea Brennan, founder of Smart Money Mamas, and this is where we believe that all moms are worthy of a healthy, wealthy, thriving life. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the little bell so you get notified when we issue new videos. Now, today we're talking about a little bit of a difficult topic. We're talking about grief and loss, and how do we manage money through that? And anyone who has ever lost a loved one knows that grief is all encompassing. And the idea of trying to do paperwork or stick to a budget in the midst of all that is really, really hard. And yet that's often what we're expected to do, right? So I'm going to be joined by Nora McInerny, who's the host of the Terrible Thanks for Asking podcast, author of It's Okay to Laugh, Crying is Cool Too, and founder of the Hot Young Widows Club, who's going to share her advice on effectively managing money through loss. Now, this is a snippet from an episode of the Smart Money Mama Show podcast, which you can check out at the link below this video. And in that podcast, you'll get a little bit more context about her story, which includes losing her father, a baby, and her husband in a 3-month period as a young adult, and really what that did and how she got her way through it. And so this is her answer on her advice managing money, not only from her own experience, but helping many, many others manage this type of crisis. And so without further ado, I'll let her take it away. So we get a lot of questions about what managing money in grief looks like. And so the first thing you had mentioned debt. And so what did it look like figuring out what did you actually have to pay? What, was basically done with after Aaron passed? How did that process? What did that look like?
It felt like panic. Felt like panic, right? Like everything is like, I got to do this now. I got to do this now. I'm also, I'm trying to get more comfortable with money, but money felt like I could not get rid of some of that money fast enough, right? Like there were people who need it more, who deserve it more than me. And medical bills, I tell everybody, like you can call and you can get on a payment plan, and you should. And sometimes when you do the payment plan, they will knock it down. So I think that's, you have to realize that for anything too. It's like your kid ends up in the emergency room, get a payment plan. You do not need to pay that bill in full right away. The hospital will be fine. Healthcare is doing fine. Okay. So do not kill yourself trying to pay a bill. Every person that I know who has experienced loss, who has experienced grief, you know what makes everybody feel better? Spending money. It does. It does. Hot Young Widows Club filled with widows who are like, look at this car I got. I did that. I bought a car. I bought it was $16,000. I didn't pay cash for it, but I still bought a $16,000 car. My husband had just died and I didn't have a job. Like, what? What? But I was like, I need it because I couldn't drive the other car. I just could not drive it anymore. It was weirdly emotional for me. But it's like, did I need an Acura station wagon? No. So I made so many mistakes. But I got rid of consumer debt quickly and in one fell swoop, right? I was just like, thunk, cannot have that hanging over my head. The interest rate is crazy. And also, I need to be done with that. Aaron's student loans were not my responsibility. Yeah. I do not understand how, but they died with him. That was incredible. And when I called them to tell them, because I called expecting to pay it and just to say, transfer it to my name. I don't know how to do this. I just was so concerned that I would miss something and end up ruining my life. Yeah. That was my main concern. I'm going to miss something. I'm going to end up in collections. I'm going to somehow ruin my life further.
Can we talk, for a second about how this is another sign that the medical and financial system is broken, and that you've had a miscarriage, you've lost your husband, you've lost your father, and you're worried about missing a debt payment that's going to ruin your life.
Ruined, in complete hysteria over it, right? And also what mail have I not? I haven't opened mail in months. At this, just piles of it all over the house. I'm like, I don't know what that could be, and I don't know all of Aaron's logins. I don't even know. I'm like, did he have a student loan? I think he did. Yeah, let's find out. And I called and they were like, oh no. And then they called back and they're like, yeah, so if he died in, November and, this was on auto pay, we'll give you these 2 months back. I was like, oh, okay. Great. So I got that back. That's wonderful. but I don't know. It felt like absolute chaos. And I think one of the best things that we had done was we started working with a financial
Mhm.
advisor, and we had done that before Aaron died, and that relationship has like truly gotten me through like a lot of stuff. To have a person where I can be like, okay, should I buy a house right now? You know? And he's like, no. Um,
Where was he on the
no, no, you
$16,000
shouldn't.
car though, Nora?
He was not aware. And then also he was like, what the shit? You know, he's like, I mean, technically, sure, that's fine, but also like slow down. And it just, I don't know. It was chaotic and awful. And I was so lucky to have that sort of like online fundraiser money. And also I mean, after a funeral and after paying medical bills and paying off consumer debt and then giving it away, like
Mhm.
and I had to figure out like how to make money and how to live like on my own, like how to live on one income and do all the parenting stuff on my own, which I know so many people have done forever. I am not the first person who has had to go through that. And hats off, by the way, to every single parent who has been a solo parent. It is so much. It is so consuming. It can be so depleting, and it is so much. And you are doing a good job if you just make it through the day.
Mama, no matter what you're going through, the important thing to remember is you're going to make mistakes. Whether you're going through grief or not, that's part of our money journey. We simply do the best we can. Give yourself grace in this season. If you want more advice on managing through grief and loss, make sure to click the link below this video to listen to our full podcast episode on the Smart Money Mama Show with Nora, and also subscribe to Nora's podcast, Terrible Thanks for Asking. You are amazing. Keep talking money, and I'll see you next time.